ka Mount Olive Culinary and Hospitality Management Shillong ka khot admission haki professional courses bapair ya ka jingtip ka ba khamnya lecture ka city office 100-fold academy ha malki.
Khring Motors, authorized dealer of Tata Motors PV, is now open at Lightcorny, Shillong. We are here to offer you India's most safest cars and to ensure you to get the most out of owning a Tata vehicle.
Umintri bakmi ya katanat lum khajna taxation jongjalau James P.K. Sangma ulong bakjeng wandra ya ka jaka khalai casino kalong ban penkiu ya kajing yo lum khajna jongko sorkar. Ulang bawat la kajala Meghalaya ka ruspa hakikam nongjngohkai Hindaki wei ki Jylla ru ki la lep ha ban khring ya ki nongjngohkai ke bapelong ya ka sorkar Meghalaya ban khring ru ya ki nongjngohkai padon bm. James ulah pengsan ya ka sorkar ha ki jingetai ke belawandra da u chief whip ka liang persha ubadir MLA ka umroy uba George Bilingdo halor ka jing persha jong ka GAC na riboy ya ka jing tmu ka sorkar ban bu ya ki casino. James ulong baka kam Meghalaya hakajala kaladon mental bonsnem nadu shwa banyo ya gajing itu baru ulong ru bagi jaka ya khala ni ki casino kim dei setia nagam ta ginong songsnong joka jala palabu ru ya ki kendon katkum ka Meghalaya Regulation of Gaming Acts and Rules arhajar arhoi.
Honorable Speaker, sir. Yes, please. At the outset, I'd like to thank you for admitting this very important call attention motion and the rules 54(1 of the rules of procedure and conduct business pertaining to the news item that appeared in local Khasi daily nongjngohkai dated 26th August under the caption Daka GAC Thao Ki Sauseng Bat Kasunjuk Man Persya Tem Khalai Hariboy, translated into that several organizations have form a GAC to oppose the gambling place in Riboy. Sir, the news item speaks of several organizations that have come together to oppose perhaps the intent of the government to establish a casino in Riboy district. What can be inferred from the news item is that, sir, several citizens coming from various sections of society, they have shown their stiff opposition towards the proposed casino. So, after the state government has brought the Meghalaya Regulation of Gaming Act 2021, the state had opened the doors for issuing licenses to persons who have the intent to start gambling houses or casinos in the state, sir. From this news item, we can understand that perhaps the state government has started its activity to establish a casino in Riboy as per Section 3 of the Meghalaya Regulation of Gaming Act 2021. So pertaining to this news item, sir, I have 4 queries. Number 1, sir, whether the state government has started any work to establish casinos in the state. Number 2, sir, whether the Meghalaya Gaming Commission has been notified as per the Act promulgated. Number 3, sir, whether licenses have been issued to any applicant in the state, and if yes, sir, kindly give the names and locations of these applicants. And number 4, sir, whether the state government has spent any public resource to prepare the identified locations for establishing the casinos in any part of the state, sir. So these few queries have been drawn from questions that people are asking, and I stand here to seek these clarifications from the state government through this call attention motion, sir. Thank you, sir.
So at the outset, I'd like to first thank the Honorable MLA from Umroy, Shri George Bilingdo, for bringing this calling attention notice under Rule 54(1 regarding a newspaper item which appeared in the newspaper Uno Sign Hima dated 25th of August 2022. So this calling attention is giving me an opportunity to bring in front of this August House an opportunity to deliberate upon the nuances of the Meghalaya Regulation of Gaming Act and rules. So the government of Meghalaya, let me place on record, sir, being fully conscious of its responsibility and commitment to the all-round growth and development of the state and its people, is focusing on promoting niche tourism in the state. This would help in creating jobs for the local people. It would help in bringing economic prosperity to our people and to raise the GDP of our state and enhance revenue generation to fund development activities in sectors like health, education, roads and bridges, transport, sports and youth, etc., etc. So while the state is blessed with great scenic beauty, we have also noted that other states in the neighborhood, especially in the northeast, sir, have started to offer stiff competition to the state in the tourism sector. This is because they share a similar topography, and some of them are having additional attractions in the form of historical, architectural and archaeological structures. Therefore, the government of Meghalaya had to find an unprecedented, atypical solution to attract tourists other than leisure or low-budget tourists by offering them niche tourism for the high-worth tourists, sir. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, gaming in all its forms has been in practice throughout history, and we would be deceiving ourselves by denying that it is not present in the state of Meghalaya. For instance, sir, betting on the game of archery has been legalized in the state since 1982. And it was very much prevalent before its legalization, which perhaps prompted the then government to regulate it through legalization, as prohibition was not a solution. Even presently, sir, it is a fact that betting on games like bullfights, though officially banned, cockfights, dice games, etc., is furtively played in remote areas of different villages in our state. It is seen, sir, that states like Goa and Sikkim have also promoted tourism through the legalization of gaming in physical premises. But in order to insulate the local population from the harmful effects of such gaming, they have incorporated provisions in their respective gaming acts, denying entry to the residents of their states into the physical gaming premises. The legalization of gaming by such states has in fact helped the states to promote both domestic and international tourism in a big way. And these states are presently reaping the benefits that this tourism boom, along with legalized gaming, has brought in terms of investments, job creation, and overall economic development of the respective state. So the government of Meghalaya, while framing the Meghalaya Regulation of Gaming Act and Rules 2021, has also taken similar steps to insulate the local population by incorporating provisions to bar entry into the physical gaming premises for the local residents of the state. There are ample provisions in the Act and rules to ensure strict compliance by the licensees. I would like to read out some of the provisions for the benefit of this august House, sir. 1, sir, Rule 19X allows, Rule 1910, sir, allows only those persons to enter the physical gaming premises who hold a valid ID proof bearing address outside of Meghalaya, implying that local residents of the state would not be allowed entry into the physical gaming premises, sir. Secondly, sir, the Act and the rules lay down stringent provisions for issue, suspension, and cancellation of licenses, offences, and penalties under the Act, and other safeguards, making it binding on the licensees to provide safe and secure gaming environment. Thirdly, sir, Section 27 provides for constitution of independent body, that is the Meghalaya Gaming Commission, to issue policy directions for regulating games to be played in fair and transparent manner and also to act as dispute redressal body for dispute resolution between the licensees and the players. So, Honourable Member had raised a query about whether the Gaming Commission has been notified. Sir, I'm happy to inform him. Yes, sir, we have already identified and appointed a retired High Court judge as the chairman of the Gaming Commission, sir, and one member from the industry, representing the industry, having experience in the gaming industry as another member, sir, and one more member is yet to be appointed, sir. Rule 12 lays down the responsibility, sir. Fourthly, Rule 12 lays down the responsibility of a licensee to allow players above the age of 18 to play. Only recognized payment modes allowed with KYC compliance norms, display of responsible gaming charter at all times, to provide a dashboard with access to licensing authority and Commissioner of Taxes for supervision of its activities at any time, amongst other compliances to be ensured by the licensee. So these are, sir, some of the provisions that we have incorporated in the legislation to ensure that locals are not allowed to participate and play in these gaming premises, sir, and also to make sure that if there are any kind of disputes, those can be redressed by the appropriate agency, sir, which is namely the Meghalaya Gaming Commission. So from the news report, it is understood that the 4 pressure groups along with the Sinjukirang Bashnong have formed the Joint Action Committee Against Casino, the abbreviation for which is the JACAC, with the single agenda of opposing the establishment of casinos in Ribhoi district. It is also gathered from the same news report that an office bearer of the said JACAC had stated that the government should have focused on bringing state-of-the-art training centers for the benefit of the educated and unemployed youth for skill development and setting up of rehabilitation centers for recovering substance abusers. So the Taxation Department had, before notifying the rules under the Act, placed the rules in the public domain, requesting members of the public to submit suggestions, if any, and a public notice, for the same was published in the English and vernacular local newspapers of the state on the 27th of August 2021. Due to the non-receipt of any public responses, the department went ahead and notified the rules by incorporating all the safeguards provided under the Act. So the purpose for the enactment of the Meghalaya Regulation of Gaming Act 2021 has already been lucidly explained, sir. As stated earlier, the acts and the rules that are available in the public domain have foolproof safeguards to prevent any ill effects of the legislation of physical gaming premises on the local population. It may be stated that the younger generation is already, for that matter, exposed to the latest developments across the world in all fields through information technology. Their needs, wants, desires and aspirations have multiplied manifold. They now wish to have, to possess and to experience the latest and the best that modern technology and times can offer. All this can be achieved through economic upliftment of our people that will bring about all-round development. To reach this objective, the government has to find out ways and means for job creation for all sections of society at all levels. The government also needs revenues to fund the development in different social sectors as mentioned earlier. So the wishes of the JACAC for state-of-the-art training centers, rehabilitation centers, government colleges, schools, etc. These require funds, not only for creation of such facilities, but also for their operations and maintenance and a good package of pay and allowances to attract the best faculty for such training centers, etc. Sir. The government, sir, is well aware of the fact that in absence of any legal regulatory framework, it is impossible to bring the dubious operators to book, and the innocent fun-seeking players, including minors sometimes, sir, fall prey to their illegitimate gaming operations without any legal recourse. In modern times like these, where technological innovations and interventions have caused massive shifts and disruptions across all sectors, we cannot afford to be caught living in denial. An enabling regulatory framework is a must to deter the unscrupulous operators to operate their clandestine gaming activities and businesses. Though stated earlier, I would like to reiterate that these physical gaming premises are not, I repeat sir, are not meant for local population. They are exclusively meant for high-worth individuals, which is Indians and foreigners, who are looking for safe entertainment options like gaming while visiting the state for tourism or business, or for both purposes. The locals would only benefit from the footfalls of such gaming premises in terms of employment opportunities, promotion of local art and culture, textiles, cuisines, transportation, etc., through local dance, music, indigenous food products, handicraft items, airy silk items, etc., etc. The list goes on and on, sir. It is not what is claimed as per, sir. Lastly, I would like to say so that it is not what is claimed as per newspaper article, that the government is not implementing development programs in Riboi district, being one of the aspirational districts. It is due to the focused, outcome-based approach of this government that Riboi ranks number 3 now among the top 5 aspirational districts in the country in terms of overall performance on Niti Aayog's Delta ranking for the month of July 2022. And on behalf of the Honorable Chief Minister and this government, sir, let me tell the August House that we aspire to take Riboi to number 1 position in the time to come. Sir, Honorable Member had asked about whether licenses have been issued to any applicants, sir. Yes, sir, many people have applied for the license, sir, out of which 3 have been processed, and temporary licenses have been granted to them, sir. He wanted to know the names of the licensees, sir. I do not have the names with me presently, sir, but I will make it available to the Honorable Member, sir. He also wanted to know whether any work has started. Sir, this is work starting is the prerogative of the licensee, sir. And third and fourthly, sir, he had asked about whether the government has spent any resources to prepare the premises. And again, the answer is the same to this, sir, that this is the prerogative of the licensees to prepare the premises, sir. So therefore, in the light of these clarifications, I hope that the JACAC, other concerned citizens of the state and this August House are better informed about the purpose behind bringing out an enabling legal regulatory framework to regulate gaming within the state with due safeguards for the local population, sir. So with these words, I resume my seat. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Member,
Sir.
those feeling that you may seek one clarification.
Sir, a few, sir, based on the extensive reply of the Honourable Minister. I thank the Honourable Minister for the extensive reply, therefore setting all doubts to rest now that we know that the mind of the government is to go ahead with the casinos and the gaming places on a physical basis across the state, and that there are already 3 applicants whose licenses have been temporarily approved by the state government, sir. So, sir, based on that reply, I would request the Honourable Minister if you can lay the copy of the rules, the table of the House, sir, the notification on the Gaming Commission, sir, and also the list of the applicants, if they can be laid on the table of the House for the benefit of the people, sir. Sir, it is also inferred, again, we can draw from the reply of the Honourable Minister that the protests are not being heeded, and the government has gone ahead, considering the fact that they are not allowing the local citizens to participate in the physical gaming location. So, sir, I would still request the Honourable Minister and the government that since sentiments have been shown that such premises are against the will of the people. And perhaps that the people may not be welcoming to such kind of activities happening in the district and perhaps across the state. I would still request the state government, sir, to kindly reconsider its stand and perhaps also take into consideration the sentiments of the people when it comes to the establishing of these casinos in the state, sir. So with these few submissions and requests, sir, I resume my seat, sir.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, sir, the Regulation of Gaming Act and the rules, sir, is to bring about an enabling environment to regulate whatever gaming is taking place, sir. There is no doubt, I'm very sure in the mind of the honorable member right now that there is gaming that is taking place in the state as we speak, sir. So if there is no regulatory framework, how do we regulate that? So therefore, sir, this regulation, this act had to be brought into place to see that we regulate it. There are instances where innocent people who are playing games are sometimes, duped by unfair practices. How do they seek legal recourse, sir? So that is why the need for a regulatory framework came about, and that is what we are doing right now, sir. And I appreciate, sir, that honorable member is very concerned about the youth, about society, but we have these safeguards already in place in the act, which doesn't allow for local people to play. So I think that very, very clearly, sir, addresses that problem, whereby if locals are not being allowed to play and go into these physical premises, gaming premises, then I think that we are insulating them from the influence of such kind of gaming premises, sir. So we have taken all these very extensively and exhaustively taken all these points into consideration and brought it into the gaming regulations, sir. Keeping all these points before these were stated by the honorable member itself, the government has been very conscious about it and has taken all these steps to make sure that our people are not affected by it, sir.